are there practices, beliefs, approaches that you can trace through from high school or earlier on through to into your ministry?
Yeah. The importance of courage and justice are strong trends throughout my life. So I was born Susan Elizabeth-Gray.
Okay.
My mom named me, my parents named me Susan Elizabeth after Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
Oh my, okay.
So I often say, no pressure, Mom. Right? No pressure there. And you know, and then after my mom named me Susan, she was telling her aunt that she'd named me after Susan B. Anthony, and discovered that Susan B. Anthony is my 5th great aunt.
Oh my goodness.
And
really?
so my aunt said, oh, I have some of Susan's things. I'll give them to you.
Oh my.
So, I mean, so that sense of connection to that history of the women's suffrage movement was powerful throughout my life. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. My mom, when I would come home in elementary school, and even into middle school and high school, the first thing my mom would do was take my history book, and she'd look in the index, and she'd look for Susan B. Anthony, and she'd look for Sojourner Truth, she'd look for Ida B. Welch, she'd look for Elizabeth Cady Stanton or Lucy Stone. She'd look for these women to see if they were even in the history book. Mm. And then often she was disappointed because they weren't.
Right.
And so she'd supplement my education. But the other thing she was teaching me, not intentionally necessarily, but that everything's not in the history book. And histories have a perspective, and much gets lost or erased. So that was an important thing. And I want to name that I know even in the context of the women's suffrage movement, that was not a perfect movement, and that the analysis around race and oppression was not efficiently or even deeply a part of that movement. So I want to name that. But I didn't know that as a child. And what I knew was I was named after these women who were courageous and who fought for women's equality and women's right to vote. And so that was, whenever I have faced something that's made me afraid, including ministry, standing up to Joe Arpaio, including all kinds of things, I have called back on Susan B. Anthony as my namesake and as a part of my family history. Give me courage. So that's definitely been a part of my story.